It's going to be right, all right? Chat, are you going to be right, or is it going to be... Well, actually, you guys were all on the same page. Never mind. Let's see if you're all going to be correct.
Well, let's see. Maybe for once, everybody is on the same page and everybody is actually right there as we see a rematch of the 3rd and 4th place teams from the first regional. Johnny, how impressed have you been with Vitality since bringing in Radosin?
I've been very impressed. I think anything inside top 5 is ideal for Vitality after the disastrous split they had in the winter. They are just trying to get back to major qualification, back to that level. But Solary, they made their debut, their RLCS debut together in the last event. It's not the first time we've seen these players have success together. They did, of course, in IWO last year. They've done it in off-season tournaments, well, not off-season, between split tournaments, I should say. And this is the dangerous thing for Vitality. This is a team who are experienced, but there's a miss early on, though able to step in and cover it.
Yeah, it's a decent start though from Solary here. Mike Boy's going to keep it going onto the backboard. Radosin has to be so careful. Almost disastrous Vitality defense right at the off, but we're already seeing what we talked about from Solary. They will just keep that pressure going. Every 50-50 you will expect is going to go their way because they are so good at that game. And it's been a constant battle as Radosin puts this one on target and actually scores it. I was going to say between who's best for Solary, but Radosin shuts me up.
And check it out, K-Dop at the infield absolutely nails it, calls it early, and you've got to nail that pass. That is not a play where they've got a third man ready to follow up. Alpha 54 was in the corner. If the defense read that pass faster than Radosin does, faster than K-Dop can communicate it, that could just as easily be 1-0 for Solary, but it shows the confidence K-Dop had in nailing that pass straight infield to Radosin, and Radosin well played. Perfect positioning.
Vitality of confidence can be a very scary thing, Johnny, because, I mean, this is a team that historically are used to winning, and it feels like as soon as they remember that, they will turn into the predator in the pond again, which has been something that's evaded them for a very long time. And hopefully, as far as they're concerned, this roster change will bring them back towards that golden era of Vitality winning absolutely everything as Alpha comes around the side. He's got the corner. Look at him trying to slow the ball down. Wants to get involved as possible. K-Dot showing some pace as well.
Yes.
Vitality looks so quick.
And they're getting all three involved in the attack as well. This is not the nervous approach that Vitality had in the past. They are going for this. They're 1 goal up already, and they're still committing all 3 players to every attack. They're trusting each other to make those touches, and they're not worried, you know, about the potential whiff, the potential of a player getting beaten to the ball. They're just going at Solary with mechanical plays, letting their experience do the talking.
Already, in my opinion, passing the eye test more than they did in that first regional, despite going pretty well and finishing in the top 4. As Thor goes to the corner, but Radosin, he's already there waiting for it. As I said earlier on, just desperate for the ball, wants to be so involved in every Vitality attack. Goes to the corner, a brilliant dunk again on Tho, and suddenly it's Solary that can't clear their lines.
Yeah, this is exactly what you need from Vitality. This is a start that I really didn't expect from them. I've got to hand it to them. They look so lively. They are really just... They're smothering Solary, and they don't look vulnerable while doing it, which is the crazy part. So this is what Solary try and do to teams. They try and bait them in, and they try and get that one critical outplay, that one touch that will create an open net at the other side of the field. But Vitality aren't leaving any gaps, and they've done so for 3 minutes now. Stunning rotation.
The question could be, if and when Vitality do concede a goal, will they retract into their shell somewhat, or will they keep this one going?
Yeah.
Kado puts that one just over Tho with the save. That's going to be Alpha over the top of Radosin. Getting involved still. Radosin's going to come into this one, though. Actually, it's going to be Mike Boy for Solary that completely beats him to the ball. Kado keeps it going, and that is where Vitality can let themselves down into fence. As soon as Solary get it across, Vitality look vulnerable, but they have survived with 1 minute and 30 left.
Yeah, it's so important that Vitality didn't concede there, because that was, I think, the first time in the entire game where it looked like they made a mistake. Whiff came through, a touch in the wrong direction, and Oli did have an uncontested shot at the top corner, which turned out to be just too difficult, too much of an angle. Vitality right back into the same rhythm. Like you mentioned, they've not yet conceded. They don't doubt themselves. They're going to continue marching forward.
Oh, they're so close to each other. Radosin and K-Dop were about 5 feet away from each other, which is going to give Solary so much space to play into. Can they make the most of it? Again, no, though. A 50-50 is won by Vitality. They're winning these second balls and beating their opponents for pace and unafraid to challenge them no matter where they are on the pitch. Oli's going to try and get over K-Dop and does, but how far can he go? Only as far as Alpha. And look at K-Dop, he's staying forward, he's causing all sorts of havoc, and Alpha's pre-flip makes it 2-0.
Yeah, K-Dop doesn't nail it, he doesn't connect the challenge, but he does force the play to go straight towards Alpha, bumps the next man in on Solary, and that leaves it completely open for Alpha to pre-flip the ball into the top corner. A brilliant off the ball work there from K-Dot. Didn't connect on his challenge, but he knew exactly what to do after the fact.
Mate, it's only game one, so I'm not going to exaggerate, but I think Vitality might be the best team in the world.
This is a return to form, certainly. Radosin looks so confident. K-Dot as well looks very confident. This, I think, might be just as important as Radosin's confidence. K-Dot needs to feel comfortable on this roster because when K-Dot and Radosin are playing with confidence, when there's no hesitation from this team, that makes life so easy for Alpha 54. He doesn't need to think, what are my teammates doing? He just knows what they're doing. And clearly right now, they're communicating everything that they do perfectly. And this might actually lead to Solary needing to have a change of game plan. They sat back here in game one, waiting for the Vitality misplays, which didn't really happen a great deal. And Vitality deservedly win the opening game in the best of 5.
Mate, I'm telling you, they're back. This is the golden era of Vitality. Based on that first game, that was exactly what I wanted to see from them for such a long time. Apart from one awkward touch from K-Dot at the back, I wasn't nervous for them. I wasn't looking at the match through sort of like, through my hands thinking, oh no, they're about to do something really silly, which has been the case now since at least the end of RLCS X, but even large swathes of RLCS X as well. They were comfortable. They were rotating around each other well. All three of them were involved. Alpha wasn't greedy because he didn't have to be. There are a couple of moments where they were a little bit close, but I mean, for all we've talked up, Solary, Team Vitality looked brilliant.
I mean, so far, how is the prediction looking? Do you guys still feel secure in your prediction? Does Chat still feel secure? No,
I don't.
Everything is out the window immediately.
Well, I think Solary have still got levels to their game. They're not stuck in this one play style where they just let Vitality come at them. I think they need to come out the gate hotter in game number 2. This isn't a long best of 7 with a timeout to work with. They've got to go for it now in game 2 because Vitality have come to play. They've come to win. They're not playing that safe strategy. Okay, let's try and not lose that we've seen from Vitality in the past.
I'm trying to keep track of some of the other matches. We have a lot of matches happening at the same time. Team streams is the word, chat. We just had, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Aogiri defeated Moist Esports in game number 1.
Oh,
right?
Wow.
We have Liquid up 4-1. We have BDS winning the first match against Navi 4-0. And there are more results on the way. Team streams, my friends, please take it away, game 2.
Go and watch them. Go and watch every single stream that you can at the same time, everybody. If you've got 16 eyes because you have 2 spiders, and watch. Right, watch lots of games at once. That's what I'm trying to say. Whether or not you're 2 spiders. Johnny, can you speak? I need to stop talking.
I think that's a perfectly good analogy. Don't sell yourself short.
Thanks. Appreciate it, Johnny.
All right. Let's just briefly mention, by the way, because that was the one question mark in the bracket. A lot of people looking at this bracket top to bottom see that Aogiri team and think, well, who's that? Well, actually, it's VK Salen, who played a great RLCS Season X. He's back in form. Ocelon, who we've seen in and out of these regionals for the past couple of years. So that's a known name. Also a player with a great ones background. But a new wonder kid on the block, Stizzy, the Spanish 15-year-old. He's just now old enough to play RLCS. This is his first event. So that's a really, really exciting matchup there against Moist. Huge challenge. I mean, Moist, massive favorite there, but don't underestimate Aogiri. I'm not lying. When I said this whole bracket, top to bottom is stacked, I meant including them, not but them.
The return of Spanish Rocket League as well after, I believe, not having a player in the last regional for the first time in a while. So more stuff that's good to see. And Vitality will be pretty happy with how this second game has started. They're still feeling confident. Any questions that Solary are going to come out, step their game up and just destroy them have been well and truly put to bed in this opening minute and a half. But here is those yet to really get involved. It was in the conversation of MVP of the entire tournament in the first regional. Radosin, though, when they counter, Vitality looks so good. They can mix up the approach. They can 50-50 with the best of them.
Alpha 54 finds Radosin on the sidewall, and Solary have done exactly what we mentioned. They're really trying to press here. That was 2 players committed, but Radosin solos the last man, and K-Dot was an option in field, so they weren't completely stuck here in one lane. They did have multiple threats. That makes it so much more difficult for the defender to cover all the angles.
So he's going to try and get a really quick response now. He's going for an air dribble instead, taking the elevated route, setting up Mike Boy. Radosin got the save on the goal line, but this is where Vitality can struggle when their opponents are pushing down upon them. Look how deep they all are. just waiting for a chance to go forward instead of attacking the ball. This time it has worked out, though. And Radosin can do his favorite thing, an air dribble away from his own half. Oli now can get a clean touch. Mike Boy's up for the redirect. It's past K-Dop. Alpha and K-Dop both going for that one. Vitality have to be a little bit careful for the next 30 seconds or so, I feel. They've got their lead. What they don't want to do is throw it away, which can happen so quickly when you're up against Solary.
I think they're really going about holding on to this lead the right way, though. Just as they did in game number 1, they're advancing, they're attacking. They aren't giving Solary a ton of options to shoot at net and to see the goal up close. They're just believing in each other. Then I think this is just evidence that the first regional performance that we saw from Vitality wasn't a flash in the pan. It wasn't just a little honeymoon period with the new signing. K-Dop looks rejuvenated completely, and Alpha 54 is trusting his teammates, something that hasn't been happening for most of this season. What a step up by Radosin. Huge solo goal in this game. Now they look to add a second to the tally. Rado's coming in for it. Top corner, denied by Oli.
More clean shots, though, from Vitality, and Solary having to do even more defending as we get into the heart of this second game. Here's Thodo coming forward. Solary are able to do so on occasion, not quite at will at the moment. And now they're getting some clean touches, but Alpha is beating them to the ball. Oli was back, and thankfully for Solary, that could have been so dangerous. They just rolled all the way home if Oli wasn't ready. He keeps it going. Radosin here with a redirect. He goes for the instant shot. It's so much creativity from Vitality right now. And what's really impressed me about Radosin as Alpha 54 comes in is that there are times that I'm thinking he's going to pass and he goes solo. There are times I'm thinking he's going to go solo and he's just doing a quick shot. You know, he really is making Solary keep guessing what he can offer.
That, you know, it increases the ceiling of this Vitality roster. As much of a world beater Alpha 54 is, you need multiple threats these days. Any team needs multiple threats, and that's enabling Alpha to find more space, because Solary need to be worried about K-Dop. They need to be worried about Radosin at the moment. They're hitting the ball hard, they're power clearing, they're shooting, passing well, and they're really doing a great job of stifling all the Solary offense, limiting them to just 3 shots in over 4 minutes.
Every time they get the ball, Vitality as well, they're just able to keep it for those few extra seconds, take some time off the clock, and allow their teammates to pick up boost. It's making it so difficult for Solary. Look at K-Dop still involved, not getting the ball, but putting them off. Mike Boy, though, has broken through, wants to take out Alpha, but K-Dop have managed to get himself back because Vitality continue to support each other in attack and defense. The balance that they're showing, unlike what we've seen from them for a while. 30 seconds left, and Oli has to turn down that approach. They're just closing down Solary so well, Vitality.
Yeah, great ball pressure. I'm loving what I'm seeing from K-Dop. He's completely out of boost, but he's just sprinting straight back to the ball to help his teammates out. And is it going to be Solary overextending? It is. Radosin gets his second goal. And Vitality, for the second game in a row, lead by 2, but importantly, with clean sheets. This is impressive, coming out from the legends of EU.
It was just a frustrated touch there from Solary, hitting the ball backwards just to get something on it. And Radosin was waiting for it and able to put it away. We are on the cusp of Solary needing a reverse sweep against Vitality in round number 1. The 3rd placed finishers from the first regional about to just be so far away from winning this first game. Team Vitality are playing better than we've seen them play in such a long time right now.
They look like the real deal right now. There were a couple of moments in this game where things looked awkward. It looked like even Alpha, Radosin, or K-Dop definitely running out of boost at times, but they're never relinquishing ball pressure. They're putting it on Solary. They're forcing Solary to make plays, and they're not falling for any of the Solary traps. They're not overextending into that back corner, but they're still maintaining pressure while they avoid overextending. They're not diving into those 50-50s that Solary dominated in the first regional. They're just controlling the ball. They're actually beating Solary at their own game while preventing every attack almost and every shot on net and creating a bunch of their own.
Vitality seems to be in rare. Is this a new Vitality we're seeing? I don't know what's going on.
I think it is.
Listen, it's fantastic to see. And this might be a first, if this is going to be a sweep, that it actually is a sweep on the main broadcast. Typically, we always go game 5. So maybe this is the one to kind of shake things up a little bit. Aogiri is up 2-0 against Moist Esports after winning 4-0 in their series.
Crazy.
Okay? We had Carbon Corp. They're up 2-0 against Misfits. Luminosity Semper, they're tied up 1-1 in their series. Navi took 1 game off of BDS just now. Dignitas, I'm unsure about their second game. But yeah, Results are coming in, and the action is heating up.
The action is so hot right now in this series, our feature one between Vitality and Solary. Solary have to get a big old reverse sweep if they are to avoid going into the lower bracket. And remember, only 2 lives. In double elimination, once you lose, you've only got 1 more loss left and you are out of here. So Solary have to wake up quick, or their entire tournament is on the cusp of just ending as soon as it started. It's a better start for them, but Vitality, they're so far answering the questions in defense. They could get a perfect sweep here, Johnny.
Every time that I've seen Vitality play this season, I'm wondering, okay, you know, when's the goal coming? It just looks like they're going to concede, and it looks like they're going to overextend. It looks like things are going to go wrong, but there's just something about the way that they're playing right now, and I'm afraid to say it when the series isn't even over, but they look so solid. And even when you're seeing double commits or awkward positions, the third man's dealing with it. They're not panicking. They have so much trust in each other at the moment. It's wonderful to see from a team who have struggled all season. But Solary, meanwhile, have to have a big step up here. They're going to go for a 1v2 play, but well dealt with again. Alpha 54 left all at the back, just sends the ball to safety. Maybe Solary couldn't get that under control and utilize an off-the-ball play.
Look how many extra touches Alpha 54 gets as well. From that awkward moment in defense when he just had to keep the ball out, suddenly he's down the opposite end, in the corner, getting extra touches, putting his opponents under pressure, but that one's going to put his teammates under pressure. K-Dop tracked it from the ceiling, managed to get in the way, and Solary is starting to look a little bit frustrated. Some of their touches going straight up in the air instead of being clean. You know, and Vitality are just punishing everything they're doing. What a pinch that was from Alpha. They can just change up pace so well. Yeah, that's going to close down Oli. Oli with more good 50-50 play, but Alpha's waiting for it. It's like they've studied the Solary playbook, and they're challenging them to a T.
Alpha really utilizing pinches from awkward positions to accelerate the ball unexpectedly at Solary. Thought for a moment there, just a few seconds ago, that Vitality were falling for the Solary 50-50 trap as Oli controlled 2 with no boost. It's something that they really have just got such an expert hand at. Now Mike Boy's got some space, completely fails to flick. Shot coming in, and he hits the bar. Solary have got to do better. That was a flurry, and the best one they've had all series long, and they've missed it.
You just know that a couple of weeks ago, Tho is thinking that one, but not to be today. Maybe this time, K-Dop somehow with another amazing save on Tho. Maybe he got bumped or just avoided it. Mike Boy gets up. Can Alpha finally be beaten? Yes, he can. Mike Boy has had enough and blasts it home.
Yeah, look at Mike Boy just shoving the ball past everybody. He walked through the entire Vitality defense, and it's just another 50-50 masterclass coming out of Solary. Vitality made them work for that, though. That was some great goalkeeping by K-Dop under pressure. With just under half the game to go, Vitality trail for the first time in the series.
Such an important moment in this series. Vitality need to make sure they don't let anything else go. They're 1 goal down. Got to shake it off and get over it, but Oli's bullying his way through again. Maybe he gets to steal this boost as well. I'm not sure if he got it. I think he did on the way out, so Vitality could be a little bit starved just for a second. As Tho's beating K-Dop, Mike Boy's waiting for this to see if there's a mistake from Alpha. There wasn't. Alpha's touch was good, and his second one, sort of a reverse Doomsy dish there in defense. And now Radosin can go for the edge, but wants to go solo. He scored their first goal last map in a solo manner. Can he do so again? Not yet. As Tho clears long, but Vitality seems to have weathered the storm for now.
Yeah, they've escaped that minute or so where Solary were all over them, and now they've got to get their offense going again. Alpha sneaks it past one, but Radosin wasn't ready to follow up on him. Looks like Solary were the more prepared to do so. They actually collide, and this is going to lead into a Vitality attack. There's not a lot of boost for them. K-Dop lands the demo, and they've just barely managed to accelerate that one through. Solary parted like the Red Sea. K-Dop making plays at both ends of the field.
Tho was just so desperate to get back and take a bump as well. He was really trying, but he was just swatted away, ignored by Alpha 54. Vitality have their equalizer as Alpha and Mike Boy go for the same ball. Alpha wins it out, and he goes high as well. Alpha going solo is a scary thing for any defense, but Oli was ready for it. It falls to K-Dop now. He wants to pass the ball to Radosin. Manages to do it. K-Dop seeming still to have so much time on the ball and getting these reads, solid touches as well. Just solidity is what he's showing. Radosin this time. Now it's the Vitality squeeze. Oli needs to be aware of Alpha, trying to close him down. Now the 1v1 game. Oli wins it by not jumping. K-Dop just gets somewhat challenged by Oli, who just refuses to go away. But then Tho misses. Suddenly K-Dop's through. Solary are doing so well in the challenge game in the center, but these all-important touches just aren't happening for them. And Vitality, they are looking like they're going to punish them. They're looking better going into this last 40 seconds.
Yeah, they are, but that's a key demo, double demo, in fact. This game turns into a 2v2 for a brief moment. Oli trying to back pass, does so well. Inside 30 now, K-Dop leaving it to run through for Radosin, who gets dunked on by Tho, but it's not going to be sent to a dangerous location yet. It was 20 seconds ago. Alpha with the back pass of sorts to K-Dop, who's been following up on him excellently here. Alpha reads the downward bounce and dunks on Tho's attempted center ball as well. This is danger for Solary. They're a bit stretched thin.
Radosin, though, has got no boost. He wants to get this 100 and does. But Tho will have a clean touch there. Can there be one more chance for a redirect or a 50-50 or anything? No, not on that occasion. Solary have got to score this goal, or else they go down to the lower bracket and we'll have a long old journey to get anywhere in this tournament. Alpha might win it early, but Vitality here. It's across the face of goal, but K-Dop can't send it home.
Yeah, Solary knew Alpha wouldn't have a lot of boost there. Its kickoff just happened. They trusted that he wouldn't get the angle shot. Now it's at the other end of the field, so Oli incorrectly guesses where Tho is waiting behind him. I think he could have maybe passed that a little bit better towards Tho, but that angle proved to be too difficult. Now Radosin at the other end, trying to snipe the target. Mike Boy easily saves.
Alpha's going to try and keep the attack going up against Tho, but Tho is up to the pace here. He's the player who's looking most likely for Solary to try and take this one by the scruff of the neck, despite it being Mike Boy who's got the only goal in this game, and indeed this series for Solary. Alpha around the side wants to beat Tho, wants to take them out as well. K-Dop, could he finish it here? Almost. Tho from the side, more good defending from Solary, who have upped the game, looking speedier now, looking more dangerous. Vitality looking like they could overcommit and throw something away, but that's a clean touch for K-Dop. Alpha's going to turn it down and leave it just for Tho because he knows that K-Dop's going around the side to win that. But the 50-50 game for Solary, it's a cliche at this point, but it is so strong. They just bulldoze their way from one half to the other, but Radosin in the end can take to the skies.
Yeah, solid from Radosin. That was really well dealt with by Vitality. They called the bluff and refused to walk into that challenge that Solary were baiting them. Now they've got cleaner chances at the other end of the field. Oli lands on it out of nowhere, though. Radosin going to pressure him on the retreat and stay active in the play. Tho shifting to the middle for himself, but denied by K-Dop, who is having a massive step-up performance so far today. We're wondering if it was going to be Alpha carrying. Would it be Radosin? Well, K-Dop has turned this into a triple threat. He's turned it into a very much three-man rotation, which have been solid in defense as well. We should have known. Approaching the end of the season, this guy's a born winner. Every season he finds a way. As he centers to Alpha, Mike Boy does well to deflect that one into the corner.
Oli's eventually able to get this ball away, but Radosin is already in the air. Vitality have stepped up yet again. That second touch from Radosin is going to make things a little bit awkward for Mike Boy, but the transition's good. This could be a chance for a redirect from Tho. It's a little bit heavily, so K-Dop can just boom it away. And maybe we've approached that point that every overtime gets, that things do get a little bit safe, a little bit boomery. Alpha getting all these extra touches. He gets so many touches where other players would only get one. It's so difficult to defend against if you're up against Alpha. As Mike Boy and Tho get in each other's way, Radosin backflips. That Alpha was back. That demo, though, could open things up. Here's Oli up against Radosin. Oli tries to go over the top of Radosin, but Radosin with more solid defending. Tho now is closed down by K-Dop, and Vitality, they're not all diving into the same ball in defense.
Oh my, Radosin with a great mind game. Pinch in defense from Oli goes flying to the halfway line. And then Pressa Radosin at the other end of the field just moments ago is able to fly off the back wall and successfully challenge as Boomer comes through the other end. Radosin, backboard to K-Dop, and also looking for the backboard, though, collects it, walks it into the corner.
This is where Solary have done most of their best work from their own half, just dribbling forwards, not jumping, while Vitality try and charge into them and it backfires. But there's a massive demo out for a couple of touches. Oh, he tried to be too clever. Maybe he could have just left it to one of his teammates, but it was decent defending in the end to get back in time when all hope seemed lost.
He didn't know, when he flew up for that, he wasn't expecting it to be open, and it is at the other end now. It is an own goal. Solary take game 3. Just moments after Alpha 54 misses an open net, and I think it was Alpha now who might have deflected that on target. Again, he didn't think that the ball was going to come through to him, but twice at the end of the game, Alpha 54 not in the right place and definitely not at the right pace, and it is Vitality who have thrown away the sweep.
Guys, it would have been too simple with this sweep. You know what I mean? It would have been too simple, right? So let's play some more matches of Rocket League. Why not? All right. Speaking of sweeps, though, okay? Carmine Corp has done it, all right? They 3-0'd Misfits game, and they are the first team to sweep we had Moist Esport finally waking up a little bit, and they were able to stop the sweep that was coming in from Aogiri. We have Dignitas up 2-0 in their series. Na'Vi is up 2-1 in their series against BDS. So there's a lot going on, all right? Semper is up 2-1 in their series. There's a lot going on.
Moist and BDS are both losing 2-1 in round 1. I mean, I got to be honest here. You know, it would be very easy for me to say, see, I told you this bracket is stacked. Look at all of the favorites losing.
You did say it.
I think I've incorrectly predicted every single round 1 match at the same time here. So I'm not going to brag for even a second. This is unpredictable as ever. We should have known because it is EU.
Listen, we can't all be teammates, okay? I hear the man is never wrong. I don't know. I saw a hashtag somewhere.
Hashtags
I can't really
never
confirm
lie.
or deny. Hashtags do never lie. Correct.
All right, then. Wow. Okay, well, this series came to life there when Vitality just seemed to be able to see it away in the last. Solary looking a little bit more like their former selves. They look a lot faster, a lot more sure of themselves. And like they're able to at least make Vitality think a little bit when they're in defense. Now, the big question, Johnny, can Vitality step up from what we've seen from them so far, now that clearly they have to?
I think definitely. It's all about the mental regain. That's the only question mark. I know that based on what we've seen today, K-Dop is playing a blinder. This is all you can ask for K-Dop, especially given the poor season he's had by his absolutely impeccable standards. And Radosin, the more expected step up, I think, after a nervous Regional 1. So this is not too unusual, but Alpha 54 was the one who made a couple of mistakes in that last game. He, like I mentioned, he flew up for a double tap, thinking he would have to outplay a last defender, but he actually had an open net. And had he been a bit more patient on the takeoff, he would have scored it. And he has here. Speaking of open nets, they're gifted one early on, but K-Dop has done really well there to spot Alpha lurking in the midfield again. Assisting, defending, scoring. K-Dop doing it all today. Can't really fault him.
Great pass, exactly. Yeah, that was such a nice pass there from K-Dop in the infield. And Alpha, I mean, that's one way to shake off the rust after a poor end to a game, just to get a beautiful redirect, boom the ball home, a beautiful angle as well. So we're going to come back. K-Dop needs to win this, and he's not able to, and it's the quick response.
Yeah, that did end up being a bit awkward for K-Dop there. He darted back low boost and just couldn't get the read quickly enough. Got a piece of that ball, but still got a much bigger chunk of it. 1-1. Solary, they've stepped up the pace. They're definitely matching Vitality's pace from the first 2 games, which just proved to be too much for them. It's something we knew that they could do. They've shown us this against Moist to keep an upper bracket match close, but with the Radosin just off target, but the double K-Dop follows up quickly. Solary, once again, standing strong in the way of them.
Oh, I just said because the 50-50 was going against Vitality, but that one almost backfired completely. That'd be the least Solary way of conceding ever. A 50-50 from the opposite half going all the way into your own goal. Not quite to be there for Vitality, but hope for them in that regard as Radosin tries to edge well again out of defense. Gets it past though and over him. Oli is there, but it's closed down so quickly by Alpha. Can he get one more touch to knock this one into the path of K-Dop or Radosin, who are waiting? Not just yet. Radosin now into the center. And Oli's going to boom it away. And Orb, News Orb. Have you got some interesting, spicy results for us, my friend?
That I do. News Orb is reporting Dignitas 3... Yeah, sorry. Dignitas sweeping 3-0 against 0-0 Nation. Once again, sweep for Dignitas.
Thank you, News Orb. That's Dignitas playing well again. I mean, they were 4-0'd by Vitality in midweek. Lost out on $600 from Rizzo. So not ideal by their
0-3 Nation rebrand once again.
Yes.
An opportunity for them. It's happened a few times this season, but they've not gone for it yet.
Yeah, they sort of asked for it with that name, didn't they? It's going to happen.
They did. Well, it could go the other way as well, 3-0 Nation, but not if they keep losing.
Yeah, not at the moment. Oh, lovely pass there towards Alpha. Alpha tries to get it into that bottom corner. Almost there. And a good pass again from K-Dop. He is finding his teammates so well.
Yeah, K-Dop continues to impress here. And Vitality continue to impress. Huge clear coming out from the Dop. Radosin looking for an impossible angle, double off the side wall. Corner wall, I should say. The confidence continues to ooze from Vitality. I'm loving it because this is something we've not seen for a long, long time. Solary can't have been expecting this today. Certainly not in RLCS. Maybe if they showed up for a scrim and Vitality are playing with confidence like this, it wouldn't be too unusual. But Vitality have really done such a great job to turn, well, I'm not going to say their season around, but to go, let's say, a completely different direction from the rest of their season.
Credit has to be given, though, to Solary, who have managed to withstand this barrage from Vitality and play themselves into the game and try and make it a game that suits their shape more, where these 50-50s are starting to look so dangerous against Vitality. They're getting control of the ball in the orange half more and more. Look at this, clean touches now for Oli. Vitality being penned back just at the beginning, but that demo is not going to do too much damage to Vitality, but for a second like it would, and they could play their way forward with Radosin over the top of Oli. Wants to get the flip reset and does. There he goes all the way, Radosin!
1v3. Radosin pops it over Oli, flip resets it over the top of Tho, and gives Mike Boy an unstoppable shot. Unbelievable. It is not a one-man team today. Vitality 54, not even needing to show up. It is Radosin who absolutely destroys Solary.
Wow, a goal worthy of gracing any series, of winning any series there from Radosin. They've still got an extra minute to hold off or even double up their lead. That's what they're trying to do, this new version of Vitality. They keep on pushing. Tho, a couple of touches, but again, only as far as Radosin. He shoots again, only in the way of Mike Boy. They have to keep their communications up so as not to get in each other's way. And I've just seen a pause has been requested from Solary. Not sure why, but just to add a little bit more drama to the proceedings.
You know, when you push yourself to the limit like that, mechanics can be a problem, but that's not something we've seen from Vitality. They seem to have upped the tempo, but kept I'd say even up the consistency as well, which is so rare to see. And based on that and the fact that Radosin's completely popped off, I mean, it's scripted, isn't it? This could be the return of the great Vitality.
It's all over the pitch as well. It's not just an attack where they're making these passes in defense, where traditionally, I say traditionally, in the last year or so, Vitality have, on so many occasions, just horrifically gotten each other's way. You're thinking, why have two players gone for that same ball? It makes no sense at all. Today, that's not happening, right? So when the ball is falling to one of them in defense, they're picking the perfect pass. So all over the playing area, the decision-making is solid, and it's making it really tough for Solary to wedge themselves into that conversation.
Yeah, we're hearing here, player has to restart the game, so it's got to be about another minute. Score will not change in the match.
It would be horrible to take away that goal. I would cry.
It would be. It would be. It would be unfair, to say the least. Just to update you guys on some other results, obviously, we updated the two sweeps we have so far. K-Corp, Dignitas, those have swept. We had Moist Esports, who's looking, let's see what it stands right now, 2-0 in their game 5. So Moist Esports waking up, the reverse sweep. I don't want to say imminent, because once you call it, it's not going to happen.
You never know.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? We had Liquid. Yeah, Liquid has just won 3-1 over EG. Navi BDS tied up 2-2, and they're heading, or they're already in game 5, currently 1-0 to BDS. Semper Luminosity also tied up. It says 4-1 to Semper. And Endpoint Guild 2-2.
Guild,
so once
Guild
again,
actually reverse sweeping. Guild were 2-0 down in that series against Endpoint. Now they're trying to reverse sweep as well. So Moist and Guild both on that same warpath to avoid that lower bracket. I was expecting close matches out of Guild, but to see if they could do it in the clutch is remaining to be seen.
Yeah, well, only time will tell, all right, who's going to make or break, all right? This is, once again, only round 1. We do want to push the team streams, okay? All these other matchups that I try to report you guys on, you can actually watch them live. Check out Twitch. Obviously, go there. Check out the directories. Look out for your favorite team. Join them and check them out.
So, not long left for Solary to bring themselves back into this one and maybe force a game 5 over here as well. Actually, I take it back. There might be quite a while before they have to do that, because there's going to be another pause. Moments in Rocket League as well. And Vitality are yet again, take 3 actually, 52 seconds away from getting a very good moment for themselves. That was a poor touch though. It's going to let Solary straight in. Alpha at the far post. It's going to be scary for them to try and hold out here.
Yeah, they have to come out of the gate like they did earlier. They've had a bit of a pause there as we sorted out Mike Boy's connection, or Mike Boy sorted out his own connection, I should say, but now they've got a bit of space. K-Dot running onto the ball, but it's Oli who's going to get there first. Radosin couldn't beat him to it because it was already moving that direction. Now double commit from Vitality, and that is the sort of mistake that we're used to seeing from them this season. This time they haven't been immediately punished for it, but they've got to communicate as organized as possible for these last 15 seconds.
I can see the possession And Solary trying to make the most of that as Oli to the side. Wants to get the flip reset. I don't think he quite has. So all he can get is a 50-50. But where's the defending? Redosian taking his time. Pal, go for the volcano. It's chaos. It's pandemonium. Surely there's going to be a finish. Michael, even at the end, was coming straight in. My goodness, Vitality. Why do you do that to yourselves and us? It just kept getting scarier. The Vitality have won the series. The sprint at the end of it, it's 3-1.
And I'm going to be honest, so that looked like the Vitality that we've become used to seeing, where it's just everybody's flopping around in the air, everybody's pre-jumping at the same time, hoping that the ball hits them, and this time it did. So I think they deserved this series, really, with how they played in the previous 3 games, but that was not the clean ending that they were hoping for, and definitely not how they're going to want to continue playing for the rest of this event.
Johnny was doing French comms earlier with the I wonder how many of those there were right there. It's like Phew.
I feel like the last 5 seconds, that felt like 30 seconds. That was very slow down, slow-mo, players with no boost jumping. Who's going to be able to get it? I don't know. A scary, exciting, intense ending to a already very intense series. Listen, we have to take a break, pay some bills around here. So please, get some drinks, get some snacks, get ready. All right. We got round 2 coming up right after this. Please stick around.